right, thank you, Jim. This is Pat St. John in for Carol Miller, who was on vacation a couple of minutes before 6 o'clock, and it's 102.7 WNEW-FM New York. We're legal, and we're getting ready for a music marathon, so we're clear. All systems are go. I want to say welcome to Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley of KISS.
Hey, everybody.
It's great to be here.
It's great to have you here. How you doing?
I feel great. We've been in the studio working on some stuff, and we're about to leave for Europe. And we've got the Monsters of Rock originally started in Europe, so we're going to be doing the European version, which is a different bill than it's over here.
Who's going to be on that bill with you?
It's Maiden, David Lee Roth, Megadeth, Guns N' Roses. Something subtle. Kind of like a lullaby for God knows.
But there's something else going on. Don't you want to talk?
Well,
there's a big surprise, I think. That
we have kind of been hinting at a special announcement here.
There is a special announcement.
There is a special announcement.
The two new disc jockeys on WNEW are Jumpin' Gene Simmons right here and Paul the Magnificent Stanley.
What is your shift going to be?
What's my shift?
Yours.
Thanks.
Incidentally, you do look very, very good, almost as good as Carol does in the...
Well, thank you.
It's a very good... I mean, you fill the chair very nicely.
When we walked in, I said, she grew a mustache? What's going on here?
Well, I try. Yeah. It is kind of something. You guys have been unmasked for a number of years now, but years ago, you wouldn't have been even gone by a radio station without your makeup.
No, we had. We'd actually visit radio stations, but we'd usually come in looking like Pat St. John or somebody.
Either that or we'd have
fun with it.
The bags on our heads,
But you want to talk a little bit about the surprise?
Well, let's definitely do that because I know people are waiting.
Let's talk about the surprise.
All right. Well, first of all, it is no surprise that your concerts at the Ritz are sold out.
We really thought that it would be fun before we left for Europe. We missed New York on this tour. We did Meadowlands, we did Nassau Coliseum, and when we started planning to go to Europe, I said to Gene, wouldn't it be great to play a club? We haven't played a club in 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
And the idea of playing the Ritz, which is just a great place, we said, let's go for it. So pretty much before the show was announced, the tickets were gone. So we really can't do any more shows. And the idea of doing those shows and going into a larger hall didn't appeal to us. So we figured, why don't we get together with WNEW and do something real special and make sure that the people who can't get in get a chance to hear what's going on inside by being outside.
But we really have to plead innocent because we really can't get any more tickets. The fire marshals just won't let us fit any more people in. So all our friends, every friend, fair weather friend or otherwise that's been...
Right, like to keep a few rows for your friends, right?
Well, you figure...
and there are no rows there.
No, but you figure that the people who can't get in because of the fire laws, well, the fire marshal isn't going to get on your back if you're listening to the radio. So the whole idea was you can stay home, have a couple of friends come over and blast your stereo, and you'll be able to hear KISS live at the Ritz on WNEW stereo simulcast.
And there you go. That is the special announcement. We'll be broadcasting your show on Friday night, August 12th at around midnight.
Live.
Absolutely live.
And it's great. Well, we've been rehearsing. At this point, we're doing material from the first album up to the present. We're throwing in a lot of old tunes. The show now runs close to 2 hours, and you can get a lot of songs in that period.
Yeah.
So it becomes hard when you got 21 albums to figure out what you want to play.
How do you decide to do that?
You try to do as much as you can, and then you talk to the fans.
A lot of it is just really the connection that we have with our fans, which we really think is special, from the fan magazines to letters to people just stopping us on the street and going, hey, yo, Gene, you guys really rock. It's really important for us to talk to our fans because it's one of the real ways we find out what it is about us that they want us to continue and what they don't.
Well, that's cool.
Real important.
I think it's great. People know that when we're on the street, come over and talk to us. If you hate us, tell us. If you if you like what we're doing, tell us what you want to hear.
Well, perfectly evident how quickly those 2 dates sold out, and of course, you've been selling out the great big halls. So those of you who are listening who have tickets for the show are quite lucky because they went so fast. They went in a...
for us, it's really a special treat because we started off rehearsing on 23rd Street 15 years ago, and had the dream in our minds about putting together the ultimate rock band, in America, the whole thing.
We're still thinking about it.
Still thinking about it. And it's only a couple of blocks down, but 15 years later, it's a real interesting. It's going to be a real nice thing.
Yeah.
It's about the size of the original loft that we rehearsed in, but it's going to be great. It's great fun.
It's real special. We're real excited. And then when the idea came up to work with you guys on the Real Rock Station in New York.
That's right.
And do a concert, we said let's go for it. I mean,
The first time I ever heard a Kiss song, I was in New Jersey at a girl's house, naturally, and busy doing something. We were studying for finals, actually. No, I wasn't doing that. We were just on radio, so we were talking nice. And I heard one of your disc jockeys back then. It was Alison Steele, who some of your listeners remember. And the first song I think I ever heard of ours was Nothing to Lose. On the radio, it was like
it was NEW that played us first. So, I mean, we're real excited. I mean, this is a real
we're
special.
gonna play you again. Let's play something right now.
Good idea.
Let's rock and roll with Kiss at WNEW-FM. Yeah. It's a crazy, crazy night at 102.7 WNEW-FM. That is Kiss. And Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are here, and they came here to help us make the special announcement that they will be broadcasting their show, the first of 2 sold-out shows at the Ritz, absolutely live. It'll be Friday, August 12th, a week from this Friday, from the Ritz, live on your radio, right?
And all our fans are going to be on, too.
It's real funny. I remember going to the Fillmore when the Fillmore was open, and they had some special concerts there, and you couldn't get into them, like the last night of the Fillmore East. And all of us were outside with radios listening. And we were listening to the broad simulcast, and you could feel the walls shaking, and you knew what was going on inside. So that kind of stuff's real special. I'm more excited about doing the Ritz, honestly, than doing some of the shows that come up in Europe after that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, playing your hometown and playing a club, we don't get a chance to do something like that. It's real special. I mean, it's a way of making contact with people that you just don't get to do.
Well, Kiss shows have always been fun. I mean, you guys are in just you've always had fun doing.
I mean, we sure don't get up there with a kind of an attitude about, hey man, we're cool. We're going to watch how fast we play, watch how cool we look. And it's none of that stuff. I mean, the idea behind a lot of the stuff really is best summed up with I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. It's a real philosophy about enjoying life and not trying to get up on a podium and dictate to people about, well, we know the secret of life and we're this and we're that.
I think if people say we're cool, they think we're cool because we really don't think we're just people. We just do our thing. If that makes you cool, great. I mean, I don't think we're contrived. We don't plan anything out. We're not into whatever is hip this year. We don't change to fit the times. If you don't like us this year, you'll probably like us next year. You know, we're like Levi's. You may put them away for a while, but sooner or later you get back to your old jeans.
Well, see, that's cool because if you
and
start,
this is old jeans over here.
I remember the other Gene Simmons. Do you know that
Jumpin' Gene Simmons Haunted House on High Records?
That's right, High Records. I saw that guy live at the very first concert that I ever saw in my life, which happened to be the Beatles in Detroit, and he was one of they had many opening acts for that show, but Jumpin' Gene Simmons.
I hadn't, I kept hearing this song title, Haunted House, by this guy, Gene Simmons. I thought it was a bootleg, and then I finally saw this record that somebody...
That was like 1964.
Earlier.
Was it earlier?
Wang Dang Do? Or?
There was another song by this guy, Wang Dang Do, and everybody thinks I've recorded another song. Nothing to do with it, folks. That ain't me. That's
and it's
another
spelled, it's spelled differently, too.
No, same spelling.
No, the actress was Gene Simmons.
That's right.
J, but this other guy, I remember...
He was Jumpin' Gene Simmons.
Jumpin'
Gene Simmons.
Yeah. And everybody thinks, gee, this guy's really old. He goes way back to the 50s. No, it ain't me, folks. That's another Gene Simmons.
But like, when I say you're into it for the fun, I mean, you have not, Gene, gone into the movies full time, although you've done some movies.
Hey, look, it's fun. Everybody likes to do all sorts of things to get their rocks off. A lot of the stuff you do is to find out whether or not you can actually do it. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to do it some more. But look, the main point is Kiss is my life. This is not something you do half-but. Can you say half-assed?
Oh, sure.
Half-assed. This is something you do all the time. But then again, when we're off tour, you have a choice of going to Bali and soaking up the sun or being a knucklehead like me who likes to go and work, 24 months out of the year. And people are often, concerned, hey, man, you're doing a movie or you're producing this or you're doing that. Does that mean you're leaving Kiss? No.
No, it just means he's not around as much.
Yeah.
But that's okay because everybody should have the freedom when they're, when we're not working. Everybody, this isn't jail. And some people think that a band is a 24-hour commitment. It is, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be there all the time. Mm-hmm. I think you bring something special back to Kiss by going out and doing other things.
And what other things do you do? Just what do you do at Paul?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Right now I'm in the studio producing Kiss. I'm doing 2 songs for we have a best of album coming out at Christmas, and it'll be probably about 12 vintage tracks that are being remixed and 2 new tracks. So I'm working on the 2...
15 altogether.
Yeah. So there's 2 new tracks.
So you're producing the new tracks?
Yeah. And then there's a band that I'm in with now called Racket, which I'm in producing. And there's another band in Vancouver called Unchained. And basically we're just looking for the right deal. And that's pretty much what's going on now. There's not that much time otherwise. You know, if I'm going to write songs, you know, if you want great songs, you have to spend time writing them. The things that we wrote for the new Kiss record for Christmas were pretty good tunes, and they didn't just fall out of my head. It took a little bit of time to write them. So
and you're going to produce them yourselves, even though, like on the last album, you had Ron Nevison who produced The Who and Starship and so many others.
Ron is terrific.
And you enjoyed that. I mean, that was a good...
No problem at all. He's really terrific. And again, you do things to find out what it's going to be like, and he did a great job. And now it's time to get back to business.
I really, you know, I like Ron, and I like working with him. And I think he and I think a lot alike. And I don't think that really the sound of the new stuff isn't really that different. And it's great. It will sound really great, and the tunes are great, and we'll be shooting videos for them.
And the most important thing is that the new Christmas album that's going to come out, which is incidentally called Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits.
Ooh.
And that'll come out...
I've already got a title for
Pat's
it.
got this big smile on his... Ooh!
I want to hear those smashes and thrashes.
And the
hits with that.
And hits. And comes out in October, but it's going to be remixed completely. So some of the original stuff that appeared on 16-track is also going to... all the way back to album number 1.
Wow.
Somebody came up to me the other day and said, "Hey, man, I love your stuff. You know, I have every one of your records, but how come you're bringing out a greatest hits? You just had one." I said, "Pal, that was 10 years ago."
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. It's interesting. You know, at this point, we're thinking of another live album. You know, when you've done 21 albums, at some point people may think, "Hey, you just did that before. You know, you just did this." Oh, 21 albums, we've kind of covered all bases. So
yeah.
But we have no intention of taking a vacation. As soon as we come back from Europe in October, even though the greatest hits album is coming out, we're going right back in and starting the 23rd album,
which will be the next studio album,
which will be out before next summer or by next summer, and will be totally new material.
23rd album. That's amazing. Let me ask you this question, because when you guys started out, you used to do a lot of writing together,
right?
And lately, the credits on there are not the two of you. Why is that? Is that just because you've got a couple of other members now?
No, I think what happened is we reached a point where we developed styles that were best left to themselves or developed with somebody else. I think that we reached a point where when we were going to write together, we diluted what we were doing instead of enhanced it.
Mm-hmm.
And at least I know that when I'm writing a song, I like to hear it the way I'm hearing it in my head, and I'm sure Gene has felt the same way. So we just kind of went off, and I think it gives us more material actually, because we both get a chance to go out and bring in that much more,
and so many different combinations that you can do.
And there are no limits, no rules. Hi,
the professor.
Yeah. There you go.
Come on in, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
The man himself is here.
Nice to see you.
How you doing?
Boy, that's great.
Hey, Scott. How are you?
Scott Muni just walked in.
The living legend
There's
is
three
here.
ideas: smashes, thrashes, and hits.
We don't know why he's visiting us, especially without his pants on. But it must.
We'd have
Do you
to.
like the dress, though, guys?
It's a terrific idea. You want to.
Elton always accuses me of wearing dresses in here, but actually that's not true. It's getting warm enough, though, to get down to skinnies.
Hey.
The weekend we lost our air conditioning.
You guys are making us feel real uncomfortable. All these great voices. This is, we got to get some of these voices.
What's
back.
wild is
new
we
disc
come in
jockey
here.
I know, I heard.
Yeah.
We usually have a million things to say, and Scott comes walking in, and we go, "Oh, the legends here. Okay, let's back off."
No,
and-
wait. You guys are doing an audition tape right now. I just want to let you know so far it's going good.
Did we pass the audition?
We're running it.
So far you're passing, but you have to ask the man there.
Yeah. Oh no. You're right under glass.
We'll be like the Bob and Ray of rock. Is that what we'll be?
Well, I don't know about Bob and Ray, but yeah, that might be okay.
How
about Bert and Harry?
Yeah,
I like Bert and Harry.
As
Paul
long as it's
and
not
Gene.
Bert and Ernie.
Bert and Ernie. Yeah. Well, let's play one of the songs that you two wrote. The song has really an anthem would not be a bad description of this song.
And been covered, too, more than once.
It's a good
Covered
song.
by-
Publishing in there, boys.
Yeah, there you go.
Money in.
Who was the most recent band that covered the song? Poison, I think it was.
That's right. Poison did this.
Let's hear the Kiss version, shall we?
Good idea.
Rock and roll all night, which is what you guys like to do at 102.7 WNEW-FM. Although I do suspect that it's a little bit longer version when you go in concert there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
everybody gets a chance to sing. The audience.
There's a few bombs that go off. It's a little noisier. I got to tell you, at some point in your career, you figure they've arrived. Some people get an Oscar and they feel they've arrived. We arrived because Scott Muni walked in here. All of a sudden, we said, yeah, we hit the big time. Scott Muni walks in. We must be important. Or at least today we're important.
The professor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Boy, he's got a voice that kills. Boy, he gets within 10 feet of the microphone, and you just hear that stuff.
He's amazing.
Oh, he's it.
A legend.
He's it. He's the legend.
Absolutely. Well, this is going to be something. When do you go?
We leave the day after. You see, I'm reading your mind, Pat.
Yeah. I don't have to ask the question.
When
You just answer them.
the day after. We leave for Europe the day after the second show at the Ritz. We'll play the Ritz the 12th and 13th, and the 14th we leave for England. Then we're going to do a club in London. We figured it would be fun to do the same thing there.
Even smaller than the Ritz, 250 people.
Then we
Really?
Then we dive into...
That's one you don't even announce. It's just the rumors.
Oh, you can't even talk about it. And then we spring right up and do 100,000 people at Donington Festival,
Or 80,000.
or 150,000. We don't know.
But you like both. You like the big places and the little places. Of course, the little places you haven't done for so long, so this is a treat for you guys.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great feeling to get back up on stage with some amplifiers that don't tower way above us. But obviously, we're going to try to fill as much as we can up on that stage.
In the time that you guys have been performing, the technology has changed.
It's wild. There was a point in our career when we would go out on stage with wireless guitars, and people thought that we were playing to records.
Yeah.
Because we were the first band not to use chords, that went from the guitars to the amplifiers. So everybody would say, man, how come you're playing with records? Why are you using tapes?
They'd never seen wireless before, so they thought it was a
But
thing. That was in 76.
yeah, and when we started,
So you're on the cutting edge of
So
rock
to
and roll.
speak.
So to
Well,
speak.
we did. It wasn't even the technology that appealed to us. It was the fact that we were walking around on 8-inch platform heels,
Right.
and the
One wrong
guitar
step.
jacks. Those guitar jacks that went from the guitar to the amplifier. If you stepped the wrong way, you'd go flying on your butt.
Yeah.
So the idea of
And you're
running
using-
around on stage without
Sure,
chords.
it gives you all that freedom.
Sure,
You're
and
still
that-
using fire, right?
Oh yeah, from both ends this time though.
Okay.
Can we talk to some of our fans on the phone, or we can't do that?
We haven't really
set it up.
set it up.
In that,
Well,
in that case,
think-
we'll see you at the Ritz.
that's right. We're thinking about you.
What are your most asked questions before I go ahead and ask them? I mean,
Is this your baby? That's usually the one.
I think a lot of people wanted to know why we were doing the Ritz,
well, I think you answered that. I mean, that's
Isn't that funny? We say, can we talk to our fans? And the lines start.
there they go.
Wow!
Look at that.
Look at that Christmas.
Well, I don't know if we should fly without a net here or not. I'll try and
Isn't that funny?
see if I can set this
That's
up.
what's great about you people out there. We know you're listening.
Look at that! Wow!
That's really great.
Well, you just keep talking, and
All
I'll
right,
see if
we'll
I
talk.
can. I'll see if I can do
See,
it here.
people sometimes say, well, what's a KISS fan? A KISS fan is dedicated and knows how to dial WNEW.
3. Oh, okay.
we're in
I
here
tell you
trying-
what. I tell you what. We'll set up. Let me play another record.
Good
And
idea.
then we'll set up and we'll take some phone calls.
That
Great.
sounds
And we'll
great.
do it that way. Let's do the one called
We want to talk to you.
No. Kiss.
Ballad.
No. The ballad.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Look at those phones lighting up.
Look at those phones lighting up.
Any
All right.
minute, any
Jingle
minute, it's going to
bell.
melt.
Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are
And let's
here
not forget
from
Pat St.
Kiss.
John.
Well, we don't forget him. Okay. Let's check out Bob. Hey, Bob, are you
how you
there?
doing?
Okay. How are you doing, man?
All right, pretty good. You guys back on the radio.
Hey,
Well,
what's
that's
going
nice.
on?
Not much. Just hanging out. Listen, my question to both of you is: do you miss Peter and Ace?
We see Ace sometimes, but Peter, we really haven't seen that much of. I know Gene's seen him a bit.
Yeah, I saw him in Los Angeles about 2 months ago. But
Well, we
go
haven't-
ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we wish them
my
the.
question of the Pat please.
There
Play
you
more
go.
Kiss, please.
There you go. The people
All right.
speak.
The older stuff.
There you go.
The older stuff.
The people speak, and we listen.
All right. Thanks.
Have a good night, guys.
Hey,
Okay.
thank you, Bob. That's Bob from Rochelle Park. Let's check out Jeff from Westfield. Are you there, Jeff? Jeff, are you there? Okay, let's try Bruce in the Bronx. Are you there? Okay,
Better.
Lynn from Brooklyn, go ahead. What's your question?
We like
Yeah,
I'm going to see you Saturday night at the Ritz. I'm going to that show.
right.
terrific.
I'm wondering, you have like any special guest plans or anything?
Any special guests?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, there'll be a band going on before us, but we kind of figured that, we're not big-headed or anything, but we figured Kiss was enough that we didn't need a special guest. But
How about Dan Reed and the Network? Would that do it?
Yeah, that would make our record company really happy. And maybe we'll get Richard Kimball or whatever his name is.
Dr. Richard Kimball.
Harvey Kimmelman or whatever that guy is.
Who's that guy?
Tom Kimmelman or
that's it.
Richard Kimball. Whatever.
No, seriously, I think the special guest at the Ritz on the 12th and the 13th
is the audience.
Is Kiss.
I think the special guest is the
I
audience.
think so.
All right.
Can I ask you one more question?
I never touched her.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go.
My friend has a record store down here in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Right.
And we have like a lot of classic Kiss stuff. We have the pinball machines. And, how can we get you guys to come check out the store?
Well, that's a little difficult. Maybe you'll have to bring the store to us.
Honestly, Lynn, we're running around all over the world. We're jet set kind of guys. No, but I don't know. It's a possibility. We could drop by, but it's tough for us to talk about it over the air because then obviously we wouldn't be able to just come in and look around.
I wonder if there's a Dan Reed pinball machine.
It's one of the originals.
It is?
Yeah.
Or Richard Kimmel.
I have one.
Yeah.
Yes. It was great of you to talk. I mean, great of you to call, rather.
Thank you.
It was talking to you.
Oh, you take care.
Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling. Okay, that's cool. And I want to thank you.
That's really...
Woo!
Whoa.
Yeah, she was happy. She's going off saying,
That's
I
right.
talked to
I
him.
talked to him.
I talked to him.
Well, we should let you get back to
Yeah.
what you do so well, which is play good rock and roll, and we should do what we do and go learn to play.
You got, are you off between now and the Ritz dates?
We're rehearsing.
We are rehearsing every day. In fact, the fitting off, Paul's going to run back into the studio and do a vocal on the last of the two new tunes. And we start rehearsing right away for the Ritz and for the European Monsters of Rock. So, I mean, our days and nights are filled. Daytime we rehearse, nighttime we do the encores back at the hotel.
Well, excellent. Excellent.
It's great being here.
I want to thank you so much for coming by. It's been a
thanks.
pleasure to talk to you guys.
We'll see you at the Ritz, and everybody who can't get in, you listen here and you'll hear what it's supposed to sound like inside.
Just hang out outside with your little radios.
Little radios.
Put your car radios on, and we'll see you on the way out, I guess.
Okay, live broadcast with Kiss on Friday, August 12th from the Ritz.
It's great.
Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so
Thanks,
much for
Pat.
coming by, and we're going to leave with, with a song that you guys requested. I asked you what you wanted to play, and this
There
is
you
what
go.
you said. Heaven's on Fire, 1984 rock and roll from Kiss, and the album called Animalize at WNEW-FM, the place where rock lives in New York. And my thanks go to Jumpin' Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley of Kiss for coming by to tell us all about the special live broadcast that is going to be happening at the Ritz on August 12th. That's a Friday night now, August 12th and 13th. It is sold out, and of course it would be Kiss playing for them, a small place like the Ritz, but we'll have it for you on the air, absolutely live, Kiss on WNEW-FM. So there you go. There's a Kiss music and conversation music marathon. There you go at 102.7 WNEW-FM. It's Pat St. John. In for Carol Miller. It is 6:34 on your Monday night, and let's check in now with Valerie Seagraves at Shadow to see what's happening in the world.